So welcome to our webinar this week, Beyond Onboarding with Atomize, taking the next step. So underused, more advanced features typically used by more intermediate to advanced users. So if you're familiar with and working in Atomize, setting up campaigns, creating tracks, adding flights, and you want to enhance your workflow, this is definitely the webinar for you. So I want to encourage everyone to sign up for next week's webinar. Wes from our product team is going to be hosting a webinar on integrations. I've added the link to the sign up in the chat, or you can sign up at atomize.com in the blog area. So this is a really, really helpful webinar. It's going to enhance your current workflow. You're going to be able to see any integrations within Atomize you may have with MailChimp, social publishing, your digital asset management. We can integrate that. So we have so many integrations. It's likely we can integrate with whatever you're using, so you can see everything within Atomize. So join that webinar, really important. If you have any questions, like I said, throw them in the chat. We'll have a short Q&A at the end. Or, hey Wes, could you send Felipe the link to the webinar? Thank you. So let me get my screen share going here for you guys. And we'll get started. Okay, so today I'm going to show you the copy, track, and grouping functions. We are then going to go into the copy and linked flight functions. We'll look at segments and filtering, super handy tool if you have a lot of content that you need to hone in on something specific. And then if we have time, we'll take a look at the asset library as well. So let's get started. So you can see here, we've got our fictitious company, Atomic Copy, and we've got our campaign set up. This is just the general Atomic Coffee campaign, our tracks, and we've got some flights set up as well. So let's say that I want to copy or duplicate a current track. So I want to, everything, all the flights on my Facebook campaign, I want that to be on Twitter as well, or a second Twitter channel. You can go into the track menu, and we're just going to copy this track. Copy function. You can copy or create a new one within the same campaign, or you can add it to a new campaign as well. So we're going to go ahead and add it to the Atomic Coffee campaign, so within the same campaign, so it's for ease of showing you guys. We'll do all content. You can also select specific dates, and we're just going to give it a little copy. If you've got a lot of content on your, like a lot of flights within your track, it's going to take a little longer, so just be patient with it. And that's how you do your copy. So I want to then go in to show you the grouping function. So as you can see, we have all of our groupings here: digital, traditional, etc. So let's go ahead and create some new tracks, generic tracks here, and we'll create our own grouping. So go back into the track menu. Going to create a new track group. So we'll do Courtney's group. It can be anything. So however you see to organize your content is how you're going to want to group this. You can then add it, select what color. It's a really easy way to visually identify everything. We're going to select the group, and we'll give it a save. So I want to add these additional tracks as well. Just go in, repeat, same steps, Courtney's group, So, and that's how you've created your grouping. So next we're going to go into a newer feature. I'm going to say it's still in beta. We're working on developing them into this feature into the other views. Right now it's currently available in timeline view, and it's our linked flight features. So let's go ahead and we'll create a new flight. Content goes here. As you all know, let's upload a file. Here we go. Select our tracks. You can select one, you can select all of them. Create. Okay, so now you can see we've created this flight on multiple tracks. We're going to go in and now we're going to link out. So if you want to have essentially the same flight duplicated, but you want to be able to go back into this original flight and make changes, and those changes automatically populate in the other flights, this is going to work really well for you. So we'll select to copy it, and we'll select our tracks. Let's see, we'll do search so we can see it easily, and then we'll select the linked flight. Okay, so here you can see, we call this the parent flight. So this is the original flight, and this is the copy linked flight. So essentially any changes that you're gonna make to this parent flight are gonna automatically show up in the child flight or the linked flight. So you can do this, you can copy these linked flights into different campaigns within the same campaign. It's really up to you how you want to use it. If you've got, an ever-changing flight, you don't know if, the asset's going to change later and you don't want to go into your 75 linked flights and change all of them. You change it in one flight, and everything changes with it. You can also break the link later if you just want to make changes. And then it's no longer a linked flight if you make a change to a child flight. So like I said, this gray box around the link identifies the original or the parent flight. So you can also just one-off copy a flight as well. It doesn't have to be linked. So it's basically the same exact steps, and we'll just not select the linked flight. So just give it a copy. Okay, so now I'm going to change views for the next feature I'm going to show you, which is segments and filtering. So sometimes we've got clients that have 75 tracks and 500 flights within one campaign. Well, how do you know what's assigned to you? How do you know? How do you narrow in on specific details? So we're going to go into list view. I'm going to take out showing custom build so we can kind of have a better view. So up here is segments that we've already created. So these are saved segments in a drop-down menu. So these are 2 segments that I've created for myself, but let's create a new segment altogether. So we're going to open the segments. We're going to add a filter. So you can filter by title, flight color, track, status, assignee, tags, and you can do multiple filters per saved segment. So let's filter by flight title. So contains, I want to know everything on the Facebook track we'll do coffee. I want to know every coffee related flight. And I want to know what has been assigned to Courtney. We'll say done, and then let's create this segment. So we'll say Courtney coffee. You can choose to share this segment with others, or you can just use it for your own individual use. So if it's, if you're looking at flights assigned just to you, you might not want to share it. So give it a save. So now I'm narrowed down, all these flights into exactly what I want to see. I can change what I'm looking at. with the other saved segments and narrow in as I want to. So when it's highlighted blue, that means there's one turned on, and select it again to turn it off. So now we're seeing everything again. It's very straightforward. If you need any help, you're not sure where the segments is or whatever, you can always go into our help live chat and we can walk you through it or give you the correct documentation to get you through it. So let's take a look now at the asset library. A lot of people are not quite familiar with this, so I'm excited to show you. It's in the right action rel, the icon of the asset. We're going to open it up. So this is the asset library drawer. It's kind of like pulling out a drawer. So here you can upload assets. You can search if you've tagged any assets. So search by tag there. And if you select them, you can delete what you're not using anymore. And you can also, if you hover over this, you can see you can download this to your computer as well. So now we're going to expand the asset library drawer. I'm going to click on our arrows where it says go to asset library. And now we're in the full asset library. So here is where we can upload from our computer. We can upload from your Google Drive. And we can integrate as well. So let us know what you need help with integrating. You know, what asset management do you need? We can help you with that. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to, as an example, upload one from my computer. And there we have it. So I'm going to open the asset. I can see the name, the size, when it was created. I'm going to add tags to it so it's searchable later. And then we can also download, delete, or approve, reject. So if you need to have your creative director come in and approve a lot of assets, you can see who's approved it. You can also reject it as well. So now that we're done with that, I'm just going to go in. We have a couple more minutes before Q&A. Let's go back into our timeline view. And I'm just going to quickly show you the draft library. So under the asset library icon is the draft flight library. If you are wanting to create some flights, but you're not wanting them to be viewable on the canvas yet or in any of your views, this is where you're going to house them. So you can add them by your campaign. So these are 3 campaigns that are set up in our account currently. And we're just going to click to add a draft. We're going to set this to unapproved. I'll select a track first. Save as drafts. And then that's going to be housed in your draft library. So say you want to have an approver come in later, there's several ways to do your approvals, but as an example, approved, and then you can create it and it's going to go into your Canvas view. So it's now a live flight. So that's basically kind of a little more in-depth features for you, kind of newer users to Atomize. So you guys let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to take a look at our chat channel real quick to see. And again, please join us next week for the integrations webinar. And if we don't have any questions, I'm going to let you go. So you'll have a good day and we'll see you next week.